tolerating my test and spending time with me. And wearing the red shirt in solidarity of unconditional love. The only way to do love. If you ever hear somebody say there's another kind of love, I'd be interested to hear what kind of love they're talking about. Now, I know that some people feign love, but that's not love. That's usually to get something. It's not love, though. Love can't be feigned when done right. You wear it. It becomes part of you. Love is like an essence. The essence of God. Yeah, so that's really cool. I like thinking of it like that. Feels like that, you know. I remember the days when I didn't feel that way about love. And I would question the world. I'd say, why God? Why so much pain and suffering for so many people? People I love. Anyway. So let's see how this one goes. Looks like things are nice and stable right now, which we're getting more and more to where I want to be with the program so that I can come on and focus on just content, just giving you great content that you value, that help you in winning, and all of us in winning, in life, in love, and in money. All of those things. And Pulse Chain is a vibrant community. I know many of my followers and friends from around the internet, they, you know, might not like the idea of financial, you know, motivations when it comes to love, and especially the Happy Healer. I've been doing this for so long. It's so second nature for me. It's not even, it's first nature. It's just who I am. And, you know, they don't understand yet that what is happening here is so much more than, you know, an instrument of wealth. And wealth is important. Love is the tool of abundance. Love is what builds abundance, not greed. And it really is a matter of just looking at these two energies and seeing how clear that is. Love builds everything. So we're not going to get into that right now, though. But I enjoy talking about it. I like talking about powerful entities that care. That's where it's all at. When you care. If you don't bring care to the table, you may as well, for lack of better words, it's almost like you're dead. It's like you're hardly alive. Care is what makes you alive. Care is what brings anything value at all. Yeah, I can't believe I'm up so late. Well, it's Friday night, so Saturday night, excuse me. Anyways, let's see what Bitcoin's doing. The Bitcoin. Let's see what the Bitcoin is doing. The Bitcoin. Oh, this is cool. I'll take you guys on a journey here to the Bitcoin sphere. Let's go coin market cap. Okay. Man, it's amazing how Bitcoin has the hardest time just breaking this 28,000 mark. I guess it did it here around 11:25. That was a few hours ago. It's going to come back and do it again. Let's look at the 7-day chart on this. Wow, it's just, man, if this was pulse chain, it'd be like running way up. Those are the differences. Pulse chain would be running way up. And yet we will be, right? And that's every coin on pulse chain too. Some amazing opportunities on pulse chain right now. So that's important to know that, because getting in it in a year from now isn't going to be the same as getting in it now. No way. And you can see here there was a push up on volume up to 20 billion. And right now it's at 6.89 billion. And there are variables, right? Because we have this situation going on in Israel with the Hamas. I reported on it earlier, but that cast was kind of crap, to be honest. I was still working on some of this media stuff. I still am now. Although I think it's getting better. I think we're making some progress. Although now I'm trying to like inch my way up more and more on the clarity, because when I share like elements like I'm sharing now, I want you to be able to see the numbers if you zoom in. And I think you can. I think it's not too bad for being live. I mean, compare that to information that you're getting on a space where there's like 50 people talking, cutting each other off, and you're trying to gather alpha. And there's no reference to anything they're talking about. So it's really hard to follow in some cases. Well, here I can take you everywhere. I could show you. And that'll make it a lot easier to transfer knowledge, which is the goal after all. And then I could take you to all kinds of things, really, right? Let's go to AI. That'd be fun. And so what we'll do is I will move that bar up a little more so you could see where I'm typing in. And then you talk to AI. And one of these days it's going to be like your buddy, your little AI buddy. Wow, I could really improve this stream more. I'm just looking at the data too as we go. It's really important. I got to pay attention to this stuff because it's the ultimate goal. Come Tuesday live at 5, I want that program to go off without a hitch. And everything that I'm doing now is in the furtherance of that goal. So things are looking good. I'm just checking on the actual setup right now. Okay. Anyways, so, let me see if I can pull up comments on this real quick, or chats. If there's anything you want me to ask AI, send it in chat. Because I will definitely look it up. I don't know if that's my latest chat. Hang on one second here. I'm still making sure I have what I need for it. So hang on. Okay, there it is. Cool. Yeah. So I just sent a message out. So just like that, you could send me any message if you happen to be present. Then there you go. So what shall we ask AI today. You could almost start anywhere with AI, couldn't you? And that's the whole thing. One thing I like to use AI for is to delve deeper in on topics, because I like to think a lot, and getting more knowledgeable in your own mind is a lot more important than getting, just reading stuff. So in some cases you can meditate on something, but you get to a certain point where you have more questions than you do the answers you're seeking. Perhaps, and that's going to happen to everybody at some point in your introspection journey, because the deeper you go, or the more knowledge you get, or the more knowledge you have, well, then there's more to realize, to understand, and to equate with what you don't know. It's like, goes back to that circumference of the circle. If what you know is confined within the circle, and it's a small circle, and all of that which you don't know is on the outside of that circle, what you don't know is going to seem like less when what you know is less. But the more you know, you discover the more that you don't know. And that's a fascinating aspect to life, because that remains true at every level. Life is infinitely complicated. That's why as simpletons, sometimes I just don't understand how they can be so simple. Anyways, so why are simpletons so simple? AI is going to be like, what? Yeah, this is a derogatory term. There are many reasons some individuals may appear simple, less sophisticated, lack of education, limited life experience, cognitive differences, cultural factors, lack of exposure, personal choices. Some individuals may prioritize simplicity in their lives. Well, of course, especially if you have to dampen down your feelings everywhere you go. That's not healthy. People have to dampen their feelings and their emotions because of greed. If they got greed out of their systems, then the things they want wouldn't be so bad to be to be fully alive on. Let's just use that word. Yeah, this stream is doing a lot healthier. And I think the type is very clear for what I'm looking at. I see, it seems pretty good. I'm monitoring it right now. So we're making great progress from when we started on this goal, if you recall. And I told you that would be the goal. That would be the objective anyway. And we are doing it. So my next objective is to get a haircut soon. And then God knows what, right? That's life. All right. So, what causes this desire people have to make their lives increasingly simple? Yeah. It really, and you know what happens as you get older? Your life gets more simple. Your brain slows down. Your ability to move around. It's kind of like simplicity is similar to like somebody in a sport who over time they get slower, right? Youth and vitality would cause you to want complexity. Like you would want to dive deeper. You would want to go further. All right, so let's see what this thing is saying. Remember one thing about AI, it is a little bit slanted towards greed, hell's like nefarious ways a little bit. And it can't even help itself. People are that way in general because of the nature of this problem that we're dealing with in the world. Reducing stress. Yeah, because they can't live outwardly. I mean, let's face it. People call faking love. Because it's like, oh, well, I'm going to do greed, but then there's I'll do love on the side so I can have a little love, but then I'm taking care of myself. And it's like, greed doesn't take care of you. Greed is a betrayal force, period, full stop. Clarity and focus, simplification can lead to greater clarity. Are you kidding me? Sure. If what you want to be clear about doesn't include the full truth, you just want to mow over the facts, nuance doesn't matter. That's how greed hell solves all of its problems, doesn't it? Yeah. That's why you have so many people in the pits and forgotten. All right, time management. Oh, yeah, that's right. Don't take care of the things that matter. Just mow over it and pretend it's all done. Yeah, I mean, these are just bad answers for like justifications, right? Financial freedom. Simplifying finances can lead to a better financial management, increased savings. Well, I think financial freedom is an oxymoron in greed hell if you're talking about dead-end jobs and paying 2% interest. Now in crypto, there's some really amazing opportunities. And if you've never heard of crypto, or if it's new to you as far as the idea of getting into it yourself, or you've never been in it, really, this is something you should be paying attention to. And Bitcoin, it's going to have some limited opportunities. People like to go there because that's where everybody else is. And that is exactly how we are built as people. We are very social, and we want to, coalesce around the popular things. But the reality of it is, popularity doesn't have to be with the one that's, Bitcoin, where it's got the most amount of juice already squeezed out of it. It could also be in something that is growing and still yet popular and has raving fans behind it, a strong community. Metcalfe's law demands that in crypto. You have to have a strong community. Otherwise, when the times are tough, when things are down, there's nobody that's sticking with it. Everybody just runs off. Pulse Chain is not going to have this problem. It's actually it's a very large community. And everybody's learning how to do research and how to become better at DeFi. They've already known as hexagons how to achieve, a lot. And they've learned a lot. Self-custody wallets. That's a big one. So many people lost money in the last cycle because they didn't actually have possession of their coins. And for ridiculous reasons, like, 7% interest that ultimately cost you your whole bag. All right, other reasons people are simplified, living lives as simpletons. I mean, I know the answer to this, actually. I know why people are doing this, where they have to be, where life is just easier, simple. It goes back to I think everybody would agree with that, right? That it goes back to all the problems and, the nature of the stress involved in it. Well, said that right here. But where does that go back to? Like, obviously, there's a reason for this stuff, guys. And that's kind of what I'm pointing back to, right? It's not even that complicated, really. All right, minimalism. Now, I like minimalism, but that has nothing to do with, good gosh, simplicity and minimalism are not the same thing. I like how they like to group these things together. It's just not, it doesn't belong together, but yet they put it together. It's just like self-interest and greed. No, that don't belong together. It's in your self-interest to be a lover. That's where it's going to take you to the promised land. That's the land of abundance. That's the creation force. But yet, people equate self-interest with greed. No, greed is about betrayal. It's about, okay, you want gold. That guy has it, so you go take it from him. But you didn't have to do it that way. You could have done something where you still got the gold, but it was a replenished source, and that's what love does. Love creates. Cultural and social trends, health and well-being. Oh yeah, again, well-being. People are weak in greed hell because it's such an unnatural force. It takes all the energy out of people. And so they're just trying, it's a lot easier to not be so alive, right? As I said earlier, because when you care a lot, when you're emotional, when you bring your emotions on board, your emotion is your spirit. That's the way your spirit communicates with your body, is through emotions. Your brain is just part of, your meatware. Like, that sticks with the earth. You are your soul, infinitely powerful, brilliant, but there is a bit of a disconnect between your soul and your brain, and you connect and you communicate through emotions, and they're telling you to shut your emotions down. I don't understand that. That's what keeps people dumbed down. All right, so simplicity, that's why. Well, let's ask AI. Does simplicity, or do people, let's ask this another way. How can we say this? It's so late right now. This has been going good, though. In fact, I can afford to even up the quality. But what matters most is to have a consistent, experience without any interruptions. That's important. All right, so going back to simplicity and greed and love. The life force of love makes you feel your emotions. Those emotions keep you informed in a lot of ways. Your goals, your fate. Without them, you're a lot easier to control because your mind is doing everything. Like your emotions, your soul is really not too much part of the picture at that point. That's why I say it's like you're hardly alive. Sometimes to be rich means to be, hardly alive. And they, you ever notice they can't see value in things? Like people don't have value. Nothing can make, not everybody goes through this, but a lot of people do. And, you can't even buy your way to feeling like something has value. I couldn't imagine thinking like that. I see such insane value in people and in life experiences. And for me, it just becomes frustrating that other people don't see what I do. And, yeah, it's a game of patience, I suppose. Emotional well-being, simplification of one's life reduces stress, anxiety, and overwhelm, which can have a positive impact on emotional well-being. Well, the idea is people want to feel well, even if they don't know why they feel well, right? They just don't want to feel hurt. And that if they can get that by not caring, then they associate not caring with something that's good. But that's not good. And then they start feeling bad for not caring too. So it's really not the way to win. I'm always explosive with energy. I love to be alive. And, all right, so authenticity. Simplifying life often involves aligning one's actions and choices with their authentic self and values. See, this is taking it down a bit of a different road, though, right? This alignment can lead to greater sense of contentment and emotional fulfillment. Authenticity. So the way to become more authentic is to dumb down your emotions so that you don't care about anything. You start to feel better about things. You water your garden, and then it's the end. I mean, give me a break. There's more to it than that. Yeah, there is a lot of truth in this simplification, but I think the way this is like framing that is not exactly the way I was meaning it. Mindfulness. Some people who seek simplicity also embrace mindfulness practices, which involve being fully present. See, now that's good, right? It takes me to a place of meditation where I shut my eyes. I think about life. I think about my own trajectory in this world. I think about others. I think about the possibilities. I think simplification is not worrying about bills and life stresses, things like that. If that's what you mean by simplification, well, your happy healer lives in a bus and lives off of solar energy. I mean, come on. I get that. But that's not what I asked at all. That's not the conversation I was having. Sometimes this AI will lead you. Be careful. Stay focused on where you're going in life, because this happens all the time. And nothing is more irritating than having somebody's life go off into a different direction because of a random thought that wasn't theirs to start with, but yet for them it felt like it was theirs. Like, watch out for the manipulation in this world. It's so rampant. And there's so many ulterior motives. People who use their intelligence not for spreading seeds of knowledge and love, but rather, to trip people up and take advantage, exploit, and betray. So watch out for that. Okay, so in the sense of having a simple life to make life easier, to focus on the more precious things, right, is something I think is super important. However, to simplify matters of complex nature, i.e. to take something complex and simplify it beyond its complexity feels wrong to me. Sure, simplify things, but not more than their complex nature. It seems as though you have taken this conversation to mean simplification in monetary things, when in fact our complexity is mostly emotional and deep. Yet, that is the very thing being simplified when it requires lots of emotional intelligence and a considerable amount of time in introspection and meditation. That is not simple. That is tough work. And especially for the person who is dealing with so much emotional damage from too much simplification, which is nothing less than ignoring what matters most to their soul. So to double back and make up for years of simplification is the hard part. Though, on the other side of that, you are a whole person, capable of deep thought, capable of dealing with anything. Your perspective highlights... Whoa, hello there. Did you give it any thought? Your perspective highlights an important aspect of simplicity and life's complexities, especially in the realm of emotions and personal growth. Indeed, simplification should not mean oversimplification, and it should not lead to neglect or avoidance of deep emotional experience. Of course, that's what it's doing. And life is all about experiences. That's all you have at the end of the day. Everything else is fake. In fact, this whole world, even scientifically, is proven to be nothing more than energy. Energy is matter. We know this from Einstein. And, general relativity tells us this. It works in science. This is not like stuff we're still trying to figure out. It's proven. And yet, people clamor on to the physical. They miss the fact that all yesterday is a memory. Time is one of the dimensions in this realm. You can't grab onto yesterday anymore. And if yesterday you owned 50 mansions and you only stayed in one of them, well, what good was owning the other 49? And of the one you were in, did you spend time in every room at every moment? I mean, you can't possibly consume everything. And that's what greed does. It's such a perversion. It pretends as though it can consume everything, and it wants everything to consume just in case it might want to one day. It's about fear. It's the fear of, oh, well, I want to experience something, but maybe somebody else might be able to experience something I might not be able to get a chance to do. It's ridiculous. It's an clown force is what I call it. And it's not abundance because it's a betrayal. You can't have abundance. If 10 people are working together, it builds something special. But one person takes, goes in and steals the pot of money that's supposed to pay for everything, right? Well, the other 9 people starve. And one person isn't living in a better world because the 10 people didn't build it. They didn't build their big house or their, whatever it is, like their compound. Instead, that one person has a bunch of pointless bucks that can't buy anything that was never built. and the other 9 die. That's greed hell. Come on, like, wake up to this. It's so simple. Anyways, so it goes on. It also important to acknowledge that each person's journey is unique. And, these are mind game play words. Oh, don't judge somebody else for being so dead in their head. Just leave them alone. That's their journey. No, their journey matters to me. Because when you're not fully alive, living your best life, then the world isn't fully alive. And when that happens more and more, we all pay the price. I love blockchain. I see so much hope in blockchain, especially because it can turn this narrative upside down. We live in the upside down world, so when you can turn anything upside down in the upside down world, you're actually putting it upright. And that's important to acknowledge. Anyways, I'm going to... Oh, look at that. It's 4:14. Ha! I was thinking of the 404 wallet in the Atrofa narrative. Make sure you catch up with that stuff. It's very interesting. This is our little time with AI. We'll come back and do this kind of stuff. I enjoy it. And I think this was successful. Really was. I'll go back and check to see how healthy the cast was, but I think it was good. All right. I love you. Take care of yourself. God bless you. See you soon.